The Miami Heat have garnered considerable praise for their acquisition of former Clippers guard Norman Powell. NBA veteran Gilbert Arenas isn't exactly a fan. He diminished Powell's star-caliber season, attributing his offensive production to Kawhi Leonard's absence. Arenas argued that Powell only recorded his career-high numbers because there was an opening in the starting lineup, which won't happen with the Heat. What y'all forgetting is the reason he was averaging that much is because one whole star was gone, so he was the go-to guy by himself, Arenas said on his Gil's Arena web show. James Harden was the assist guy. He was second in scoring. He's out there, but I'm giving you the ball. You're going to Miami, where there are already guys who want to shoot the ball. So now he's fighting for the ball. Arenas's concern is valid, questioning Powell's ability to repeat his production on a complete team. However, aside from Tyler Herro, the Heat don't really have any starters that are overly aggressive on the offensive end. Bam Adebayo has been criticized as a passive scorer, and Andrew Wiggins and Kel'el Ware shouldn't get in the way of Powell producing. The veteran guard averaged 21.8 points on 48.4% shooting last season, while knocking down 41.8% of his shots from three-point range. The Heat will utilize his high-level scoring, especially from the arc. They had the seventh-worst scoring offense last season, a trend that must change to re-establish themselves as conference contenders. The Miami Heat just pulled off one of the most lopsided moves of the summer, and Clippers fans should be feeling it. By turning Kyle Anderson and Kevin Love into Norman Powell, the Heat managed to walk away with a legitimate high-level scorer without giving up anything of real value. It is not often you can say a team got a near 22 points per game wing for free, but this is about as close as it gets. Powell is coming off the best season of his 10-year career. He averaged 21.8 points per game while shooting 48.4% from the field and a scorching 41.8% from beyond the arc. He was not just a stat sheet filler either. He led the Clippers in scoring 30 times, posted 38 games with 20 or more points, and dropped at least 30 on 10 different occasions. That kind of production is not something teams usually part ways with unless they are getting real value in return. Instead, the Clippers opted to reroute Powell in a three-team trade that also involved the Jazz and sent John Collins to Los Angeles. But what the Heat gave up in Kyle Anderson and Kevin Love barely even cracked the rotation when it mattered last year. Anderson had a short stint in Miami after being acquired in February and never found a real role. Love had been in town a little longer, but his minutes dwindled and his on-court impact was negligible. Neither player figured to be part of Miami's long-term plans. Miami got Powell for a highly favorable price. That is what makes this move so remarkable for the Heat. Powell gives them something they sorely lacked for most of last season: consistent bench scoring and a proven late-game shotmaker. He finished second in the entire league in fourth-quarter three-point percentage, shooting nearly 50% in the clutch. For a team that so often had to grind out possessions and lean on Jimmy Butler earlier and Tyler Herro later to create everything late in games, Powell offers immediate relief. He also fits perfectly with how Miami likes to play. He can operate with or without the ball, plays with pace, and has a playoff-tested mentality. His ability to come off screens, relocate in space, and punish defenders who sag off him makes him a natural fit in Eric Spoelstra's system. It is rare to see the Heat get something for nothing, but this move fits that mold. While the Clippers shifted focus to front-court help, Miami quietly walked away with one of the league's most efficient scorers, giving up 2 rotation castoffs to do it. If Powell stays healthy and continues producing anywhere close to the level he did last year, this trade will look even more lopsided by the time the season ends. LA gave the Heat an opportunity, and now Miami might be the ones laughing all the way to the playoffs. The Miami Heat went 2-1 during the California Classic to jumpstart their NBA Summer League. On the surface, the Heat beat Golden State and San Antonio by double digits, and all is well. But it's a combination of Kasparas Jakushionis struggling mightily, combined with a player Miami got outmaneuvered for excelling, that is leaving Heat fans wondering if Miami was too passive during the draft. Miami draft target Walter Clayton Jr. is lighting it up in NBA Summer League. It's not a secret that Florida Gator guard Walter Clayton Jr. was trying to telegraph his way to the Miami Heat. It would have kept Clayton closer to family in Lake Wales, and he fit the profile of a player that Miami desperately needed. Everything was going according to plan until pick number 18, when the Utah Jazz traded up from pick number 21 to leapfrog Miami and take Clayton. Miami pivoted to take Jakushionis with the number 20, and while it may have seemed like a steal at the time, it's the Jazz that look like the big draft winners after 3 games of Summer League. Jakushionis has struggled hard with his Miami debut. He has been a turnover machine who can't seem to blow past guys to get to the rim. He has also yet to make a three-point shot, and if you didn't know who Jakushionis was prior to Summer League, you would just assume he is some G League lifer that Miami has out there because they needed a warm body. Clayton, meanwhile, has looked great. He has been confident on the ball, has showcased the shooting touch that led Florida to a national title, but has also demonstrated that he is an above-average distributor who doesn't feel the need to force things. We would be remiss if we didn't point out that Utah had the draft capital to make the move 3 spots up, while Miami is still in the business of trying to acquire capital to make moves down the road. This could all just be growing pains for Jakushionis, and by this time next year, his Summer League nightmare could all just be a footnote in time. But for now, Miami looks like they got outmaneuvered and are paying the price for it. The Miami Heat clearly don't believe Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro had a fair shot at leading the team in 2025, which led to the major trade for guard Norman Powell. Miami's front office is signaling its desire to give the Herro-Adebayo duo a drama-free opportunity to succeed. While Powell is quite an impressive scorer and nearly made the All-Star game last season, adding more established talent could be on team president Pat Riley's mind. One Heat social media account predicts the Heat could land regressing forward Demar Derozam in a 3-team trade with the Los Angeles Lakers and Sacramento Kings. The full proposed details are as follows. Lakers receive Andrew Wiggins, Devin Carter. Kings receive Terry Rozier, Jamie Jaquez Jr., Dalton Connect. Heat receive DeMar DeRozan, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent. The Lakers and Kings' motivation for making this move is rather simple. LA needs a two-way forward to play alongside LeBron James, while Sacramento can continue adding to their youthful core with Jaquez Jr. and Connect. However, it's much tougher to explain why the Heat would have interest in acquiring DeRozan. The obvious thought is he is a 6-time All-Star who averaged 22.2 points in 2025, but he likely won't push Miami over the hump and has 2 guaranteed seasons remaining on his 3-year, $73 million contract. It's hard to imagine DeRozan being worthy of that contract by 2027, with some already believing it's an overpay. It's also worth noting many rumors are swirling about Wiggins heading back to the Golden State Warriors in exchange for star forward Jonathan Kuminga. If that's a possible route, the Heat should not entertain dealing the former number 1 pick in a deal for DeRozan. Unless the asking price for the 35-year-old Kings forward is unbelievably low, Miami should look elsewhere for win-now pieces.